The white unibody MacBook was an icon of Apple's aesthetic during the 2000s. Born of an era when everything was a clean, clinical white, the MacBook was arguably one of the most iconic laptops to be made. When they were new, that is. The base cost was $999. This one, however, cost me £40. And you're about to find out why. As you can see, this is only half a MacBook. The screen was wrecked, so I've ordered a replacement. Now, to begin with, I'm going to be using a PH000 Phillips screwdriver to remove the RAM and hard drive cover and the internal screws of the inner case. Now, after they are removed, it's time to move on to the outer case screws. So these outer case screws, pay attention because they are different sizes, so you just want to make sure that you take note of the order they come out. So with these removed, flip it over, remove the 3 screws on the back, and as you can see, the keyboard's come away already on mine because I disconnected it previously when I first took it apart. Next I'm going to remove the hinge brackets. This is where the display would normally be connected, but this one, as you can see, doesn't have one. Again, pay attention to the order because they are different sizes. Okay, so with those removed, next thing I'm going to do is actually attach the new display. Obviously, if you had to remove it, then you would do this yourself and remove the display and connectors and such, but I've already done that, so it's just a case of putting the new display on. Now these hinges can fit onto the central locator pins, and then you just want to quickly grab a screw just to hold it in place or lean it up against something just to secure the screen from falling, because the last thing you want to do is damage your brand new display. I'm just going to set this bracket down. If you notice the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth cables, they are underneath the bracket. There's actually a little cushion underneath to stop them from getting caught or pinched on anything. Alright, now I am going to connect the display inverter cable. This can often go bad and cause the screen to have like a backlight issue, which is actually what the screen had, but it wasn't the inverter, it was actually the screen itself. The bulb had just gone. Also going to connect the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas while I'm at it. So I'm just going to pop those down onto the circuitry here and then move on and reconnect the hinge on the other side. before I actually connect the other hinge, I'm going to sort these cables out, just reroute them through the channels, get the super drive back in, and just get everything fixed into position, so that way it's all done and I can just bolt the hinge down then once everything's connected. So this is just a case of remembering where things go, paying attention when you take it apart, or watching this video, if you didn't do any of that, to remind yourself of where things go. There you go, with everything connected. Now it's time to reattach the keyboard. So the last thing is just connecting the keyboard flex ribbon to the circuit board or the logic board in the middle, right next to where the display connector and the hard drive and everything's gone. So here's the cable, and it's really difficult to get a shot of this, sorry, so you're just gonna have to kind of figure this bit out on your own, but you just push the cable straight down and it connects. Alright, and now it's just a case of replacing all the case screws, so the inner case screws and the outer case screws, and put them back in the way they came out. This is why it's important to take note of what goes away and ideally separate them out. And there you have it. A fully working 2009 Apple MacBook running macOS Catalina with 4GB of RAM and 120GB SSD. This once scrap laptop has been given a new life, and it actually works really well. Alright, so how much did all this cost me? Well, it was £40 for the MacBook, £18 for the SSD, £15 for the RAM, £15 for the battery, and £20 for the screen, which in total comes to £108. Now that's not bad. £108 for an Apple MacBook that runs OS X Catalina, has iMessage, Apple TV, music, it supports pretty much everything. And it's a really decent performing machine for, basic things like browsing the internet, YouTube, the messaging, email, word processing. It's a great little machine, and I think it's well worth the money for the nostalgia, if nothing else. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for whatever I decide to do next.